Woohoo! Viewer on Twitch, hello. Good evening. I've just restarted everything because, well, we've kind of answered whether or not 318 is more stable with 3 concurrent crashes. So no, it's not. We're going to give it another go. Hopefully do some 318 related things if a complete restart of my build helps. And then we'll give it a go, see where we land from there. Hopefully progress, possibly not. If not, we'll find something else to play with, and do, whether that's a game, something Star Citizen related, like videos or whatever. We will find out, but we will certainly achieve something, I am hoping. Let's see where we land, eh? Okay, so let's go there. Ta-da! But if you're in chat, say hello. Give us a shout out. Let us know the chat bot's still working. That's always a useful thing. And yeah, we'll see where we land. Hopefully now. Let's just. Hopefully we can not be in. The good news is we're not loading in back into the same shard. So if the problem is shard related, it's not going to be shard related anymore. Which is kind of good. There we go. Right, I'm not going to say anything stupid, like I said the last time. Like, oh, this feels stable. Let's kill chat. It's these momentary micro freezes I really don't like. They kind of, yeah, like that. I just pressed forward and it thought about it and then went. But let's see where we go. And I think potentially we whip over to Daymar, or to somewhere over in Crusader and see what's up. But these momentary freezes, these little kind of micro stutters almost, it's invariably, to me, indicative that something is not happy. Now I'm not downloading textures, which is normally the first thing I look at, so it's not textures that are the issue here, or me downloading something that's been added. There was no update. I haven't updated, or I haven't had to update this since the last time I played, so I know it's not that. It's just a bit interesting. I'm not entirely sure what or why. Because someone's told me now that you can click on the X and it just clears these, which that obviously doesn't work either. Let's see. Can replicate? Can't replicate? Yeah. No. I mean, that might be that might be the patch coming through. That might be the point patch that's coming through that's fixed that. And I can only hope, right? So I reckon we take the Retaliator and we pop across to toward Daymar, Crusader, and see where we land, see what we get up to. Hangar 5, I reckon, just on a whim. But yeah, Shadow, if you're here, I'll certainly bear that in mind. The XMP stuff. If it continues to be a problem, I'll do some testing with the XMP and see if I can switch that off. But that sounds like a good steer. Right, there we go. I've got to say, I'm a massive. If someone grew up like watching the Dam Busters and Memphis Belle and all that sort of stuff, I'm a massive fan of the Retaliator. I get massive kind of World War II bomber vibes from it, with all the turrets and your friends just kind of dotted around and trying to defend this thing as you go and do your missions. significant kind of bomber vibes. All the stuff we wanted to do as kids. We wanted to go and fly these things. Which in hindsight, probably a good idea we didn't. But let's see. The other thing I want to do is make sure we've got the right sort of weapons that we're taking with us. So we'll have a look at that in just a second before I jump into the cockpit. One of the things I've noticed about 318 is that it does seem to be remarkably the issues that you may or may not have seem to be very much centered around the time that you're on and the load that the server is under. Because I've played a couple of times when I've not been able to sleep at, like, you know, silly o'clock in the morning. And that seems to have fixed a bunch of issues that I've had. That's certainly, you know, kind of alleviated some issues. So maybe that's part of it. I mean, I don't know. I might just be clutching at straws here, but if you are having problems, it's definitely worth considering that as an option. Right, let's take my LMG. Right, let's put it in the vehicle chat. There we go. That one. Let's take a Gamma. Have I got any decent long or medium range sights for the FS9? Did I grab any? Yeah, let's take a couple of those. We got any Scion 2s? Got Scion 1s and Scion 3s. No Scion 2s. That's alright. By the time I'm done, there'll be plenty of them lying around. And let's, if we can, let's grab some mags for the P6LR. One of my favourite guns in the entire game. Because, well, at one stage, I had actually had a P6LR normal version, not the nice skinned version. But I might as well take it anyway and not worry about losing it, just because they're going to do an item wipe anyway, so even if I've got it, it doesn't really matter because I might lose it. So let's pop that in there. Let's pop it on my back, because there we go. Right. If anyone's got anything they want to see from 318, any of that sort of stuff, just drop it in chat. We'll see what we can do. We'll see if we can give it a go, trial it, whatever. Let's just top up quantum fuel. Cool. She's chunky, so you're going to have to wait for those doors to open a little bit more. Otherwise, I'm going to be missing bits when I arrive. And that's never good. Who have we got in chat? Don't be shy. Come say hi. Say something. If you got any questions, type away. By all means, more than happy to interact. I love watching her unfold. She's really pretty in that regard. Okie dokie. So, to Crusader then. We'll do a bit of a ship's tour while we're here. Okie dokie. Now, I might be being mad. Oh, there you go. I was going to say, there's the waypoint. I couldn't see it for a while. I think it takes a while to kind of pop in to existence. Okay. So yeah, she feels a little bit more stable now. I've said it. You watch me crash. I think what we came up against earlier was just the server not wanting to play, and resetting has kind of, has put us there. Yeah, interesting one. The Retaliator should be the replacement for the Perseus, not the Harbinger. Oh god, I don't need another one. So for some reason I've got two of these. I think it's because maybe it's not available in certain modes or whatever. But yeah, I've got two Retaliator bombers for the fact that I own a Retaliator base, which is weird. But yeah, it's certainly a little bit more. The gameplay feels a bit more similar, a bit more along the lines of the Hammerhead, right? Turrets and that sort of stuff, and group gameplay more so than the Harbinger is. But yeah, she's a good looking. She's a very old model now. It would be interesting to see whether or not she ends up getting a rework. But she's very, very old, and you can kind of see that with the detail on her. She's flat. She doesn't have a lot of exterior detail. I guess partly because she's designed that way to not be detected to the last minute. But also she's just an old model. I mean, if you look at things like the interior landing gear and stuff that they were showing off during ISC and the sprint report, and then you look at the way the landing gear on this works, there's clear differences and a clear kind of production gap where it's just not as accomplished as some of CIG's other stuff. But that's the point of the gold passes and all that are going to keep happening. But yeah, depending on where we are in the trip, let's have a look. Well, we've made quite a way, but let me take you on a quick walk around for those that aren't familiar with the interior of the Retaliator. She is an aged bird. You've basically got the center sections which hold your main armament. I've fired a couple of torpedoes, which is why we've got some missing here. But in the front here, you've got effectively the captain's cabin, which it may or may not let me into. Who knows? But yeah, you've got the captain's cabin. You've got enough, kind of stuff for. You got a little bit of storage, a little bit of place to place trinkets and whatever else. And then coming out, you kind of had the access to the top turret here. Then you have weapon storage for the crew. Yeah, and a few other bits, and then you have the crew kind of sleep compartment. Okay, this is very much the Retaliator is a long range function torpedo bomber, and she is very much based around her function rather than. Can I go down the ladder? Don't. Cute. That's weird. But she's very much based around her function and her role, and everything else to that is secondary. So you've got a couple of torpedoes up top. There would be torpedoes along the sides, but as I said, they are missing because I've used them. I've killed some reclaimers on that mission, but obviously, these are size 9 torpedoes, and this is the Retaliator's primary role. Get in close, get on target, and fire either a salvo or a singular size 9 to really bother capital ships and larges, that sort of stuff. So that's her role there. And I love the fact you can just walk through it in flight. I think that's kind of cool. This side, the other side of the captain's cabin, you've got the crew's ablutions. So in the morning with your towel wrapped around you, you're going to be walking all the way aft through here, through multiple sections it is absolutely not laid out like luxury or for convenience. That's not its job. It's a fighter, or it's a vessel of war, not something that's designed for convenience or comfort. We've then got 2 more torpedoes to back aft for a total of 6, I believe. And then you've got what I believe is the engineer station here. Yeah. So you've got those bits, all looking very cool. And then down aft to some more turret spaces. Apparently, we've just come out of Quantum. So that was fun. Hello. So let's have a wander forward again. And then hopefully in here we can find something kind of cool to do with. Yeah, that looks like Crusader in the background, all right? Holy moly. She is definitely definitely different compared to the placeholder that was left where she was, let's say. So there's Gundo. Let's see if there's any packet. There's more Gundo. There's more Gundo. There's more Gundo. There's more Gundo. And there's more Gundo. So if you wanted to earn an awful lot of money, I mean, what's that? 8, 16, 21, 29, 37, 45 grand for picking up a bunch of boxes. So that's not a bad shout if you wanted to go and do that. There's some Caterpillar stuff. Let's see if we can find. Have we got anything to Whitley's Crypt? Breach and Steal, right. So Breach and Steal is one of those missions that is going to be that is the pirate version of the Reclaimer that you go on a fight. So I'm not going to do that because it's crime stat and I'll die. Yeah, I think how Intergaming says, do you think the tally is more like the B-1724 or like a ballistic missile sub? I'm getting huge submarine vibes on the interior. Yeah, I think for me, just because of bizarrely, it's the way the ordnance is oriented, because they're hanging like bombs would on a B-17 or something like that. But no, you're right. The interior being able to walk around, having the space, does feel very nuclear subish. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know why. Maybe it's just because it's the first thing I jumped to. Maybe the first one that you kind of that you kind of land on is what you end up thinking, right? But let's have a look. A chance to impress. Asteroid surrounding Yellow. Something needs taking offline. Interesting. And then there's a derelict. This is a. I mean, okay. I can't see anything for the crypt at the moment. Maybe we can go to found. But I mean, that one looks good. That's a derelict outpost. I haven't seen of the derelict outpost on Daymar, so let's do that one first. It's only 3 grand, but we get a place to go, right? So, worryingly, I've been slowly etching my way closer and closer to the planet. Although it probably would have taken us weeks to even get into atmosphere at this rate. Yeah, so going on from that, I think definitely the accommodation and the bathroom, bizarrely, very much has submarine-based kind of feels. For anyone who has, or for anyone who's not necessarily aware, there is absolutely, submarines are tiny, cramped, not great spaces to live in. They are uncomfortable, and you just think of everything that we take for granted. Simple things like food and fresh food, all that sort of stuff, just doesn't exist on a ship like that, on a vessel like that, because where's it coming from? Like, what's the longest you can keep salad in your fridge for? Because I guarantee it isn't, well, I mean, it might be 3 months, but you aren't going to eat it after 3 months, right? So it's one of those things that, she doesn't fly well, though. It's one of those things that, being on those sorts of vessels really does, it's a very challenging environment to be in. Up until recently, it was the domain of male only. It's, you stock the boat up and you can't come away for sort of any reason, really, especially on a nuclear deterrent or whatever, because the operational security of the boat is paramount. So yeah, they're very claustrophobic, and as recently as, say, 10, 15 years ago, maybe 20 years ago, boats in the Royal Navy, there were half as many beds as there were crew, because you would do something called hot bunk. You would wake up for your 6 hours on watch, and the person who's taking over from you or whatever would jump into the bed that you've just vacated. Which is made all the worse by the thought that actually making fresh water on these things is incredibly noisy, and submarine does not go well together. So if you've got a noisy submarine, you get found easily. So you'd find that you don't have showers so much as you have what we call bird baths. And a bird bath is literally there's a lot of stuff around. What is all these? I don't know what any of this is. What is it? This is really wild and worrying. There's a lot of stuff showing up. I don't know if these are bugs because they're not really activating for me or what, but what's that? That looks like it might. Okay, so there's an eclipse. Worrying. There's an eclipse. Worrying. But yeah, you get my point, right? Not being able to wash and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, submarines. People are like, yeah, why didn't you go submarines? Yeah, pretty much that. Basically, weird people. So this has multiple areas. I'm going to stop up here first and neutralize whatever's at the outpost up top. Shut the engine down. And let's go. Let's go pick up this box. Welcome. If you're only just joining us, we are having a go to see how stable 318 is. I've come across a Daymar to see if we can do some 318 things. Maybe go to Whitney's Crypt or whatever it's called, and have a look around. At the moment, I can't find any missions for it, but I'm sure one will pop up soon. Oh, steady. Wow. Yeah, that's interesting. Let's not do that again. Okay, let's leave that there for the moment. I mean, for $3 there might not even be any bad guys, but I don't really want to take that chance. So let's go in armed, see what we can discover. One of the things I love doing is I kind of walk around these places if there's nothing to go shooty shoot, is have a look at what they are and might be building in as future gameplay loops, as future gameplay improvements, right? So there's a couple of things that tend to instantly stand out, especially with like the crates and stuff. You look at things like this. You've got potentially, when you look at the hinges, targets for the cutting tool, and you've got things that maybe you can hack when hacking gameplay comes in. So there's all sorts of things that they can add later on, like this here, right? So maybe, hopefully I've got a tractor beam tool on me. Here we go. Oh, have we got a... Oh, that's frustrating. Is it honestly an orbit attachment? Oh no, it is a true hole tractor beam. There you go. But what you can find sometimes is you can find bits and pieces that, you know, you see what they're opening or what they're hopefully putting in for later on in the game. For problem solving, for things that you can move around, manipulate, investigate, all that sort of stuff, right? Like this. We do something like that, maybe. I mean, I don't know. I'm literally just playing here at the minute. And now I'm stuck. That's good. Tractor beam tools, very, very useful. But yeah, you can kind of see what they're trying to add in, the sort of things that they're trying to achieve. So later on, when they add that functionality, you've almost got in your head like where you're going to go back and try it out and that sort of stuff. But let's have a look. See if we can find any cool things to loot. That's not a lootable container, I don't believe. No, it's not. But what we can do is drop down. And here, potentially. Well, regardless. It's having a bit of a funny, because it doesn't seem to want to let me do that, but that's fine. See? I don't like this. What's the bandwidth in? Seems to be doing okay. But I can't change to my sniper rifle. It's having a bit of a funny. So I don't know if you can hear me clicking there, but I am clicking and it's doing nothing. Unfortunate, but let's see if we can I drop down there? Nope. But never mind. I'll come back and see if I can find something down there with which to use to... That looks like a pirate cutlass that's coming into play. Don't worry, I know I've not got guns, but I got something else. Well, that's just rude. Rude, 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 rude. I know this is overkill. I get it. Oh, she does not like that. I think it's because do you know what? I'm going to put myself back in VTOL mode, just because she deals so much better. Yeah, that's what I thought. Hey, Notorious. Good evening. No, I for some reason yeah, and that's the end of that conversation. Just whilst I'm here in this mode, I'm just going to show you like how significantly beefy these torpedoes are. You can see I've just fired one from the back there. Yeah, you might be able to see it better here. So there you go. You can see it on the left side rear, where it's not present on the right side rear. That's a process called, yes, yeah, yeah, using a missile that's almost the length of the Cutty to kill the Cutty. Yeah, that was an inefficient kill, as kills go. But do you know what? It was satisfying. So screw that Cutty. That was absolutely not asked for at all. I think that might be one of the bodies from it over here, which is quite fun. But they, so yes, it's being a bit funny. Hopefully we can fix that in just a moment. Yeah, yeah, like a kid in a candy shop. Like, all I can see is torps, and I just want to play with them all. So let's pop the nose down. Don't you feel silly now? That's definitely a Ninetales coloured. See, if I don't call to arms there, I would have made some money. Okay. So yeah, so that's the Retaliator, and that's what it does, right? And you can salvo fire these things with a lock on. You can also dumb fire, and it's that dumb fire mode for me that makes like stealth bombers and bombers that come in squadrons really, really scary. Because they, you can you don't have a lock on distance. The closer you get, the less time to react your opponent has, and you could basically just release them from point blank. And yes, you run the risk of dealing yourself significant damage and all that sort of stuff. But at the end of the day, actually, it's quite a when you're talking about attacking cap ships and stuff, it's actually quite a bonus to be able to engage people like that. This is the weird thing, is that this keeps happening. It puts my gun away. I'm not doing anything. I don't want you to put my gun away. But yes, there are bodies. Bodies. Bodies everywhere. Keep a lookout for me, just to make sure there's no one else that's doing stupid stuff running around. But, what have you got on you? I'm not really interested in that either. What about you, sir? Nothing particularly interesting. Oh, apart from, I stand corrected, some P6LR mags. Well, that's fun. Let's do that. Yeah, so not been to this outpost before. Looks, again, it's another one of those things that you can kind of see that they start to hide stuff around all over the place. You're rewarded for puzzle solving, for going in and finding stuff and whatnot. There's lots of this as well, so they'll give you Dolivine and Aphorite and all that sort of good stuff. I'm not interested in the pinks, to be honest. I've got a stack of those at home. But yeah, these are, it's one of those things that you can kind of come here and do very little, and that's fine. You don't have to do much. But you can also come here, spend some time looking around, and you get rewarded for it. There's stuff to find. There's bits to uncover, and there really are sometimes some particularly kind of rare items. So I'm told. I think there's even alien relics and stuff that are supposed to be found in and amongst this. Not that I've ever found it. Maybe today, huh? Maybe that's our thing. Maybe we're gonna get lucky. Fingers crossed. But yeah, the Retaliator's an interesting concept because Paladin helmet, black silver. Yes, please. I'll take that. It's one of those things that it's obviously designed to be away for a significant amount of time, because why else would you have crew beds, showers, ablutions, that sort of stuff? But again, you can kind of see the limitations of range as it pertains to it, because you are, I mean, that was what, Microtech to Crusader, and already we are, halfway through our fuel. So that's your mission, possibly a return trip, that distance, but that's it, no better, right? Loot. Subscriber stuff. Give. Ooh. That's only on heavy armor, and I don't think my chest plate is heavy, right? No, it's medium. Okay, well, shame, but there you go. What else have we got in here? So again, you can kind of see where maybe you're going to be able to cut through, you're going to be able to do that sort of stuff. And in order to get out, you can kind of just jump out, climb out, mantle out, whatever you want to call it. There's also some great kind of puzzles. You can move flat pieces of metal around to enable yourself to be able to climb. This is all very cool. To get to access different levels and all sorts, right? So you can kind of see where they're going. Go on, let me climb. I dare you. Or don't let me climb. It's entirely up to you, like. Is there something there? Maybe that's bugged. Portable cooking stove. And, yeah, a cuddly toy. Yeah, this, whether they intend it to be like this or not, and I'm guessing they do, right? Is this, you say, Hellwinter, it's good they interrupt the meta grinding with exploring like this. They're making sure good environments, that it's almost a crime to speedrun the missions. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Wow. It definitely feels like, they are almost insisting in the nicest possible way, just by giving you interesting things to look at, but and go and loot and stuff. But it does feel like they're almost insisting that we go and explore and discover and all that sort of stuff. So in the square pin, you're gonna let me do this now? Yay! We are fixed, and it also stops that bloody annoying noise, which is nice. You can let me put that out. Okay, cool. So let's go. Okay. I think is that moving from somewhere that's not stormy to moving somewhere that's stormy? Or is that just the game being really, really weird? But yeah, they seem really keen for us to problem solve. Like that. I don't know if that's what they meant, but that's what I'm going to do, god damn it. 80p arms, not interested. I got... No, I might have over egged the pudding on that one a little, and gone horrendously British in the There we go. Ooh, he's very proud of himself. Yeah, why not? Cool. Nice. Right, I'm going to go back to the ship. I'm going to dump some of this stuff. And then we'll go and get some more. But I think is the Aztalan subscriber. Is that what that is? I can't remember. But let's find out. Yeah, so as I'm saying, Retaliator from a fleet perspective is quite interesting. It's got the range to stay away. It's got the endurance to stay away in terms of being able to deal with the crew, giving them somewhere to stay, all that sort of stuff. What it doesn't seem to have is the range at the moment. Now, that may well change, but it seems like it's almost an ambush predator lying in wait, ready to go, and then, you know, kind of pops out, does what it needs to do, and then comes back again to whatever fleet is supporting it, and that sort of stuff. So yeah, some interesting potential tactics for it. But I think we're really going to have to wait to see what role it's going to play in a fleet. Because it's also exceptionally big, and it's got a really high crew requirement, which isn't me hating on it. It's just it's an interesting role, and actually, I mean, what do you guys think? Size 2 turrets, underpowered? Because it kind of feels like that for me, but let me know what you think. Right, now, let's see if we can get on top of this thing, which is probably why that crate was there in the first place. Because it's not got something I can mantle up on the side. So let's go back and grab that. And now we're back to this fun. Here we go. So I don't think it's tall enough here to get up the side. So maybe if we climb up the side of this thing, you reckon? Maybe that'll work. Maybe not so much there. Come here. Come here. There we go. Ta-da. Nope, that is not happy at being mantled. So let's try that again. That is happy at being mantled, but there's nothing up here anyway. Because why wouldn't there be? Or why would there be, rather? Shadow, look, I didn't start it, all right? They started it, not me. They did. They started it, I finished it. I'm sorry. No, they came out of nowhere. They, and started attacking me, and you know, while the Retaliator doesn't have pilot controlled weapons or guns, but it does have one pilot controlled weapon. No, thank you. Sorry. Back with you now. Yeah. Basically, my entire adult justification for that is that they started it. So there. Yeah, I don't know if it's about being power equipped, whether it's behind in the meta, whether it's ahead in the meta. I think at the moment, one of the things that I don't like about torpedoes is just how that maneuverable they are when they lock on. I find that a little bit jarring, just because of the sheer amount of power they have. They are not they're not missiles. They are ship killing armaments, and it feels a little the Retaliators do feel. I mean, that maybe that's the trade-off, right? You put a lot of crew in it. It's a lot of those size 9s aren't going to be cheap. It's a lot of size 9s in a relatively small platform with a high crew cost. That if you hit that a couple of times with a decent size armament, it's not going to do very well against it. Maybe that's the trade-off. I don't know. But there's definitely I don't know if it falls, if those size 2s feel maybe a little bit underpowered for me or overpowered or what. But as Notorious says, they make excellent point defense turrets, and you're not wrong. And maybe that's that's all they need to be. The B-52s, the B-17s weren't going around and shooting people down. They were, they were to defend the bomber and keep it alive. Let's see. So is this a bug on both of them where it keeps knocking you down? I don't know why. Do you think it's because they've done 2 of those and that somehow in the code it's not connected properly there? I know it's not going to connect yet, but mine. Oh dear. Yeah, I really like these locations. I like the fact they're getting bigger. They make sense to me. You've got a lookout on the high ground. This sits nestled down in low ground. It avoids a lot of the storm. Stuffing gullies makes it harder to find for ships that may be trying to locate this sort of stuff. Good lord. It's a really nice, I think, kind of setup. Try getting on the ladder. I shall. Yeah. Oh, look, free gun. Let's give that a go. Reckon that's. It's just booting me off anyway. Interesting. Oh, Shadow Girl with the rescue. Look at that. What was really worrying was I was kind of inching up. I wasn't doing anything. It's like, nope, that wasn't me. Nice. And then you've got all this stuff. And, you know, it's just everything's mantling puzzles. It's all physics puzzles. It's manipulating the environment. It's all the stuff that gamers like doing, or, you know, that appeals to a lot of gamers, is just being able to manipulate the environment, working through stuff, all that good stuff that they seem to be doing a really good job of adding right now. Well, let's make sure this visit's worth it for us. Ooh, True Hole tractor beams. Yes, please. Quicksilver multi-tool. Yeah, all right. Why not? Pinks. Yeah. Thanks, Shannon. I'll do that in future. That's worked really well. There's that. There's that. Some Aphorite as well. Lovely, lovely. Might make a tidy little profit from all the bits that we're picking up, you know. Yeah. So Shadow, if you the kind of the aesthetics of your character and stuff is your thing, what did you make of the latest sprint report when they were talking about like the wear and tear on different armors and stuff? Is that up your street as well? Is that your sort of thing? Or hey Feathers, welcome mate. Thank you very much for joining. Did everyone see the ISC and what did they think? Is it more of the same, not particularly interesting for you? Is it something that you thought, I really like X, Y, Z, and if so, what was it? Are there things they need to work on? Are there things they need to get better or do better? There's nothing quite like asking these questions. Something I'm struggling to get used to. Hopefully, I'm glossing over it, right? But it's asking these questions and then knowing that YouTube's like 8 to 10 seconds behind where I am, and you've just kind of got this do moment while you're waiting for a response. Insert lift hold music here. Wear and tear is good, but when I looked at their comparison photos, it was actually a bit hard to tell the difference unless you really look closely. I think they didn't make it dramatic enough. Yeah, I mean, hopefully there'll be more levels, but I kind of I like the subtle steps. I think as long as there's enough of them that you get also that dramatic difference when you compare fully worn to fully new. Hellwinter hasn't seen the most recent ones. They've got some lovely shots of Lorville, as Notorious is alluding to. You know, the question I was asking Shadow Gal is they're showing some armor, but they're doing passes on wear and tear, so you can pick up 5 different sets of the same armor, or pieces of the same armor, doing what I'm doing, running around and looting stuff, and actually, you know, you're not necessarily gonna see the same thing on any of them because they're all worn to different levels, and that's kind of what they're going for, right? Is they're going for the idea that you can you know, have different levels of wear and tear, and you know, there's some interesting permutations of each setup. So yeah, it's interesting. Wait, stop. What are you doing? Where are you going? Well, apparently they're not supposed to sit on that. So yeah. The trinkets and coffee cups. Yes, the upcoming subscriber flare, you mean? Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. I have no idea what is going on there. Not a single Scooby. So that's too heavy to be lifted. I mean, so maybe it wants me to... Let's figure out how to solve this puzzle, shall we? Is it here you want me to put them? You want me to be boring and put them there? Or is it just steady? So yeah, but I can't get up. Oh, I have no idea. Like, literally no idea what is going on right now. Not a single clue. Wait, where did that go? I'm not going to get killed as it comes plummeting back down to earth, am I? Interesting. Subscriber flare. You mean plunder? I am sure that's what it will be for many people. Yes. Yeah, or lost items for some. Is there anything worth checking in up there? Probably not. Oh, is that where it went, or is that the other crate that was already there? I don't know anymore. I'm so confused. Well, the other crate stayed here this time, so that's... Well, I mean, kind of stayed here. Yeah, I don't think this is working as they intended. I'm going to get away from that before it kills me. But yeah, often you'll find stuff buried in the... Yeah, I think there's something to that stuff, rubber banding and whatnot. But yeah, I've got to say, Notorious, the I'm going to leave that alone. That's freaking me out a little. Yeah. So I think that's that. Of course, now I have completely lost where that package was. I think it was up here, right? So I leave it up here. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, this moon's haunted. I'm done. I'm out. That's enough of that. And then we'll go and see. It looks like someone's over at Korea, so it might be fun to oh god, have I got to... That's the other side of the moon, of Crusader, right? Please tell me that's the other side of Crusader. I do like the fire effect, even if it's glitchy as all hell at the minute. Moon's haunted. Get out now! I've seen this horror movie. It doesn't end well. What's worrying me is that package number isn't coming up. But oh well, whatever. I'll just... Your common sense has no place here, Shadow Girl. What is oxygen to a fire? I mean, unless, of course, it's liquid O2 burning, in which case... Yeah, kind of. . Look at all the eclipses. Just hanging around in midair. Why not? So, yeah, good looking ship. We like. Yeah, can you imagine? With size 9s. Yeah, imagine just like I wonder. There's two things I want to try with these tractor beams. Can I take a size 9 with my tractor beam and literally hit it into the side of something like a contact mine? And also, can I tractor beam a knife that I've dropped on the floor and stab an AI to death with it? Because if not, why not? CIG? Why would that not be a thing? This is all the Kovalex stuff, and I don't want the Kovalex stuff. The Kovalex stuff's boring. Tractor beam knife. Stab, stab. Ooh. Whistler's Crypt. That's the one. Whitney's tomb crypt thing. Yeah, let's do it. Because the last time we did this, right, there were bad guys in the floor who killed me. And I was not impressed. So let's have a look and see if we can. So that's where we are, and that's where we need to be. Cool. You got any orbital beacons, like anywhere? Any orbital markers? That's an orbital marker. There we go. Let's jump to that. Yeah. Multitude to overload and throw it at the enemy. That's your problem now. So that's 800 or 600 and something away. That's 700 and something away. That's 600 and something away. What do we reckon? Do we jump round to that and then try and go from there, do you reckon? I need to kind of understand where I am on the globe to... Okay. So we're there. So if we jump to NT whatever it was, maybe that'll put us closer. No, that's not going to put us closer. That might put us closer, right? Oh, I don't know. Let's just find out. Apparently not. Apparently I screwed that up. Yeah. Sci-fi equivalent of potato. Hey, Aaron. How you doing? Thanks for joining us, mate. Oh, interesting. Okay, bear with me 2 seconds. Let me see what I can do. Let me take you behind to the stream magic. Let's have a look. Where's Wavelink? Game. SC audio output. Let me pump that up a little bit. How about that? Does that work for anyone? Let me know if it works for you, and if it doesn't, let me know that too. Yes, not too bad, thanks, Aaron. I've been a backer of Star Citizen since about 2017, and I've been aware of it since about 4 months after it was announced. So yeah, I've been around a while, and I've been playing, I don't know, for a while after the 3.0 point patch. 2012, Aaron. Yeah, absolutely, mate. Nice. Yeah, I came aware of it early into 2013, I think. Yeah. Unfortunately, I'm down to one screen at the minute because I've got a technical issue. So I'm not at the moment. I'm not able to fix that for you, or to go and ban him because I've got my other controls up. Let me just very quickly. Let's do that. Output manage sound devices. That's not what I want. Is it? That's what I want. Output. Here we go. So now, what I should be able to do is go wavelength game. There we go. Now, yeah, so in-game money, you can buy and rent ships. The only thing you can't do at the moment is you can't. So ships that are newly released are normally like a patch or two behind when you can actually buy them with in-game money to give people that bought them the chance to play with them, I guess, and to drive that fear up of wanting to buy it. Oh yeah. Yeah, so I amped up to a Prowler, because I really like the aesthetic of the Prowler, but I don't like the Prowler enough to buy it. Hey, Macho, welcome back, mate. Thank you very much for coming back to us. Yeah, so I quite enjoy that, but I think at the moment I do what I normally do with a lot of these games, is I just kind of go and collect like all the limited stuff. I'm an absolute hoarder. So I'm just like all the helmets. I mean, I think here we've just picked up a Paladin and an Aztalan helmet. So I like doing that stuff. I'm not as great at the PvP, although now my excuse for not being great at PvP's gone. I used to be playing this on a 970 until the end of last year when you're doing the slam route right now. Nice, absolutely. Yeah, no, we were just saying that. Yeah, large pristine artifact. Not yet, Shadow. I live eternally in hope, but not yet, unfortunately. Yeah, I'm running around with my favourite thing in the whole world. I've got an Archangel P6LR on my back for exactly that reason. It doesn't matter if I lose it because they're going to reset stuff. I was kind of hoping they would also do rep. Because one of the things I found with 318 is that because missions were struggling so much to spawn, like one of the delivery missions, I couldn't get even into the building. The door just wouldn't activate. So it's an instant fail. So with a couple of factions now, they won't touch me. Because I failed a bunch of missions for them. Because the missions are bugged, and maybe not money. I can see why people will get pissed off at money, but or at least resetting negative reps for people, because it's just a bit of a pain in the ass. Yeah, absolutely, and I may well, when they do the reset, I may well repair it and go that way. I loved Freelancer. I absolutely love Freelancer. Yeah, Freelancer was a favorite. Yeah, yeah, absolutely notorious. I was first aware of Star Citizen when you couldn't buy ships in game, and I thought most of the ships design looked bad. I hopped in back in 3.14 during a free fly and finally bought a game package. Yeah, Feathers, how have you found it, mate? How have you, for someone who's kind of watched for a while and not bought, what have your thoughts been since buying it? Where's that kind of left you? Are you keen? Enjoying it? Is it something that you can kind of only tolerate for a while for the bugs? What sort of, and don't worry, no one's gonna have a go if you don't enjoy it. It's I'm all for being positive about the game, but no one has a go at anyone in this in chat here for having an opinion, right? Um, that's just not that's not cool. So I'm going to do what we did last time, I think, which is go and land on this hill, take some guys out. Maybe we'll do some here. Sorry, guys. Yeah. So, I guess we're going to rely now on their crash protection, and hopefully that's enough to get us to save us. But yeah. So Aaron TV makes, or Aaron Twitch TV made a point just before he went in my restream chat, and he said, "I just wish CIG would do the dev work correctly and not take them a week and a half to fix it." I kind of gave you guys my thoughts on that last week, but the précis of that is this: it's entirely justified that people are pissed off. It's also entirely justified that this happened. This is what happens with alphas. I know it's a meme at this point, but genuinely that's what it is. It's an alpha. It's going to happen again. They're going to find stuff like this that breaks things. When they put major tech blockers in the game or tech updates in the game, something's going to break, right? So yeah, I think they were silly for not doing it on a for doing the update on a Friday. That's just silly because then you've only got the weekend to fix it. Or sorry, you've got the weekend before you can fix it. But yeah, there's that. Yeah, Matthew. Yeah, it's a really good point actually, mate. Please do a pre-launch video ahead of the streams. It notifies everyone and it promotes your channel on YouTube. You know what? That's a really good idea, and I'll take that on board. I think one of the things I'm going to do is that I'm gonna look more seriously at the streaming side as well as the content. This is easy because it doesn't require any scripting and the results are immediate. What I do is straight wow. Are we intact? We are intact. Fantastic. Crash protection works. Yeah, that's kind of scary. I don't know if we've even got the box mission. Is someone firing at me? Did I hear that right? Is someone... Where is that coming from? I don't even have a hostile marker on my HUD. Unless that's coming from the site itself? Question mark? Oh! Are there? I'm so confused right now. What is going on down there? Oh! It's a friendly player shooting AI. Okay. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, sorry, so, I'm just going to go back through chat. Feathers, I'm really sorry to hear that crash protection isn't working for you. For some reason, I just seem to have hit it right, and it's worked well, and I'm there with it. But it's a shame that it's not working. The good news is that they're making progress, so hopefully it'll work for you shortly. Matthew, yeah, mate. So what I'm hoping to do in future is take this a lot more seriously. And because what I was trying to get at before I broke this or whatever is that it's immediate. There's no wasted effort. When I hit stream, I do 5 minutes of a setup. I come to you guys. This is all live. Even if I screw up what I'm saying or I want to like change what I've said or whatever, it's all immediate and we're interacting, and I get to talk to you one-to-one like this right now, or you know, a group of you and whatever else. And that for me makes it instantly worth it. I think part of what I found with the videos is, and I will come back to them at some point in the near future, is that I've found the videos a little bit hard to do purely from the point of view of, you know, learning new software. So I've been learning how to do DaVinci Resolve, which is not an easy piece of software to learn. And actually, if you muck anything up, then it can be hours and hours and hours that you don't then get back. You guys don't see that. There's no real payoff from you, other than hopefully it means that next video is a high quality one, right? So that's why at the moment I've kind of stepped back from it a bit, among other reasons. Ooh, let's not trash my. Oh my god, I cannot fly in third whatsoever. Hopefully, he doesn't kill me. But let's find out. He could try, I suppose. Oh no, your Augo is good, but Astropub's so nice. But yes, I want. Got you, yeah. So one of the things that I found at the minute is that because I stream through OBS and restream, is I haven't found out when I do that. Sometimes what I've had happen is I've had it stream something, set up a stream with the pre-stream, and then when it goes live, it doesn't connect to that stream. It starts a new one. So people are in the waiting room, and I'm actually streaming in another instance of the video, which is really weird. But what I mean about taking this more seriously is I'm also there. I'm going to go and find out, like, why that's happening, and hopefully fix that problem, right? So hopefully we'll have a much better experience. But yes, mate, I will take that on board and hopefully have some sort of fix soon. Please don't. I want him to see me that I've come from this. Dude, don't. Woo! Please don't kill me. I'm going to reload because I know I'm going in there with 9 rounds. So yeah, so hopefully I can find a way to... I want him to look and see that I'm friendly here and not come over and schwack me. Maybe I go over there first? Is that a thing, do you think? Because if I go page up, right, that's the... Yeah, there you go. Christ, it does not like this at the minute. Really? Has this dude landed yet, or is he still making a nuisance out of himself? Yeah. So... Wow. What about upcoming IA ships? What about the upcoming IA ships? Were we ready? Do you think it was the 31st April for a more serious announcement? So what turns me off about that announcement is look at the date. Oh no, feathers. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, mate. You've just 30k'd. Ugh. I don't know. It depends whether or not the... On a 30k, does the server know where you are? Do you know what? Mate, I have no idea. So what instantly turned me off about that Xylo post, if you look at the date, it says the 31st, i.e. the 31st, but with a TH after it. So I think that was quite clearly a joke from someone who's potentially, who either wasn't paying attention or maybe, you know, English isn't their first language. So yeah, it's a bit of an interesting one, but I don't think that's accurate. I have a fear, you know, that they all but stated, I think, that they're now waiting for the Banu Merchantman to... hello? Yeah. For the shop functionality to come in. We need to talk about LMGs and how accurate they are, because that shouldn't happen. But yeah, you know, so there's that sort of thing, right? Yes, mate, I'm also on Twitch. You can find me at DGP on Twitch. So the letters DGP, Drinkers with Gaming Problems, on Twitch. Because my full name is one digit longer than Twitch's maximum name length, which really isn't helpful in the slightest. So yeah, it's a bit of a shame, that one, but you know, what can you do? So I don't know, honestly. It's really hard to figure out which letter to drop. So yeah. But yes, DGP on Twitch. I'm over there. I'm restreaming through. I've also got Facebook because a lot of my friends like to take the piss out of me when I stream. So hello, if any of them are in here. Oh yes, so I'm not. I don't think I'm monetized or anything on that side of it yet. I'm like I say, I'm not kind of. I didn't know if I wanted to do this, and I really did not want to have anyone do any subbing or anything until I knew what it was I wanted to do, because I didn't want to put anyone to put any money towards it before I knew they'd get some value out of it. So I haven't done any of that stuff, but I appreciate the thought, mate. Thank you very much. If you wonder why I've got my chat is down there, which is why I keep looking away from the camera. Normally I try to spend a lot more time trying to make contact with you guys, but wow. This guy did a number in here, right? So this is the guy we sniped. Interesting. Very interesting. This is cool. I like this a lot. I want to find a Banu cube in one of those things. Give Banu cube. Oh, bless you, Matthew. I really appreciate that, mate. but yes, you like I say, hopefully, at some point I can commit to that. One of the things I've always said about my streaming is that this is first and foremost, it's my hobby. It's the way I relax. And if I get to the point where I don't enjoy this, and it starts damaging my enjoyment of gaming in general, then I will, then I know what will take priority. Whoa, friendly, friendly, friendly! Look, I'm jumping. I'm friendly. Actions, player, emote. No, why have I got no wave? Please be a friend with me. Please be a friend with me. Don't fucking kill me. Oh, Kite Glade. There we go. Thanks for not shooting. That's cool. I'm a friend. I feel happy. So it says, started as my hobby. It's cheaper than owning a boat. Only just. I mean, behave. Yeah. Ah, God. Here we go. But yeah. So yeah, I absolutely, and this is kind of why I've approached this in a little bit less than the methodical military manner you might expect from an ex-military guy. Just because I genuinely didn't know what I wanted to do with it. Wow, what is that? Also, most deaths have happened during typing in chat. Elevators. Elevators. Just elevators. Elevators all the way. They are terrifying. Can I climb this? God almighty. Oh, hang on. Here we go. Following Shadow Girls. Shadow Girl, you are my hero. You are absolutely my hero. Thank you for that. Because that's now working. Lovely. And it's even got markers on it now, which it wasn't doing before. Oh, wow. Can I climb this? Remembers when the Connies used to break your legs? Yeah, I remember when everything used to break your legs. It's terrifying. But yeah, let's grab that and run it back across to the ship. Do you know what, this location, I had no idea how big it is. The last time I was here, as I was saying, yeah, that's a boom. When the moon hits the sky like a big pizza pie. That's an explosion. Yeah, I'm gonna stop singing now. Don't worry. I've often thought it was like, so what can I get people to sub for? It's like, if you don't start sub, I'll keep singing. But yeah. The ladder will kill you, the floors will break your legs and then kill you. Walking in Quantum. Yeah. Yeah, getting out of your seat in Quantum. But okay, okay, have a great time. As the ship just disappeared off. Yeah. I remember it well. It's lots of silly. But these locations are just crazy. And what I love about this is the way CIG have approached how they, like, who does this and when. And what I mean by that is, like, this was like, hey, so we kind of like, you know, we've got this new studio, Turbulence. So we thought, as a, like a kind of, you know, cut your teeth, you know, get your hands dirty challenge, we'll just get you to make a bespoke location with some crash ships and stuff that looks amazing. And obviously, as they start to add new locations like fixed outposts or working outposts, like whatever, right? Insert random sci-fi space location here. I think I see a problem. That they can keep doing that. You know, so it's like, hey, we've got a new environment artist. Your challenge is to do... Did I just... I thought I picked that box up. That's a shame. Okay, let's go get the other boxes and then we'll go back. Hopefully this guy still doesn't kill us. Please don't shoot me. I'm jumping. I'm jumping. I'm friendly. I think he sees us. I think he sees us. Holy shit. Look at this mess. Any of this interactable? No. I'm just gonna add in a jump every now and again. Oh, I think this is the guy in the ground that I had the last time. Yes, it is. He's right in front of me, right there. Fuck's sake. Because this is exactly where I died last time. I don't want to die. This is the downside of it, I think, is that maybe I need to report it and capture this and whatever else. First weeks in Essie was flying the Cuddy Black, and I'm like, I wonder what happens if I walk near the docking collar. Nope. Her dead. But this stuff is so good. Look at it. But, you know, the fact that they can keep doing this and keep adding, like, little locations like this, and just be like, hey, new environment, dude. I've got a challenge for you. You know, this is what we're going to get you to do this time. Look at this. They've even thought about, what is that? What have they used for that? Some sort of piping, right? This is how we're going to get water. How do these guys get water? How are they existing here? Well, we'll just grow a little pumpkin farm up here, or whatever the hell, it's prickly pumpkins. And then we'll just drain them for water. But yeah. Tony Touch. I invited a friend to try the game during the pre-flight. We died to stairs. Oh, mate. That's just rubbish. That is absolutely awful. I'm sorry about that, dude. That's just... It's not even funny, right? It's just like... You know, you wax Liverpool about this game that's going to be all these things to all people, and it's like... Dude, I died to stairs. Like, how good is this game? How good do you think this game's actually going to be? You know, yeah, right. I don't really have anything for that. Not gonna lie though, I was kind of hoping more loot? Question mark. Get on the ladder. Wait. Pause. Shadow Girl tactic. There we go. Lovely. But there is, as there has been multiple times, I might just grab a very quick... There we go. Screenshot saved to gallery. That location down there. Oh! I say. Oh no, he's friendly. That's human. Or is it? Well, that is human. But is he... The question is not whether or not he's human. The question is he friendly human? I find out on the ladder, I think. Because if he's enemy, this is where you would engage when your opponent's got no chance of shooting back, right? I want SC to get a load of interns and be like, here's the tools, make shit and break shit. Why do you think the game's like this right now, lol? Yeah. So, does anyone recognise this? I find that really interesting, right? Because if you've done the Black Kite Reclaimer mission, where you have to go and you have to go to the Black Kite, you have to put a crypto key in, all that sort of stuff. Then that basically, you go to the Black Kite, you fight your way on board, you find a crypto key with authorization. You then go to where their servers are to give access to some shadowy other dude who then wants to access some information. You then destroy the Black Kite, right? That laptop's how you do it, which is really interesting because, you know, like I said, you can kind of see them setting this space up for other stuff. That's exactly what they're doing now, is they're setting this up for other missions in the future. So that is obviously going to be a location where we can you know, come up. Maybe you stop them sending out a distress call. Maybe they're going to have continuous reinforcements to you seize this bit. Whatever it is, right? You can have all sorts of bits and pieces that you could do from here. Maybe, you know, you've got to go and stealth your way in, and as long as you don't get contacted, you could then call for the security forces to come in and clean the rest of the place out. Loads of things that you could do, loads of iterations, but really, really cool. I'm a little bit perturbed that guy is running around now, just because I don't know his intent. I don't know if he's friends with this guy. It doesn't seem to be. They don't seem to be covering each other. Also, I'm not entirely sure why he's... My brain went, well, maybe he's trying to kill these people because he's trying to finish a quest to kill people. But there aren't quests just to kill random NPCs, are there? Not like you've got to farm a certain number of them. Interesting. Now, I wonder if our friend here fell foul of the I hide in the floor dude. Let's find out. Shadow Girl tactics. But yeah. So what I'll do, normally I bang this on the head at 11. What I'm very tempted to do is we'll keep doing this until we've kind of looked at the area. Because I haven't been here properly yet. So I'm really interested to see. Survival estimate, is that 109 at 1 hour 9 minutes or 1 minute 9 seconds? Because they are two very different figures. So there's our titanium. Can't see much else. There's very old components and stuff. That's cool. I love this garage thing. Because there's one of these. They've added it at Ghost Hollow now. They've expanded the site at Ghost Hollow as well, which is kind of cool. But it's, you know, so there's this sort of garage. Look at the state of it. Oh, what's that going on up there? Fight in the skies? Interesting. We might need to pick up the pace a little. So yeah, what would you say is better, the Glaive or the Scorpius? Oh God, I'm possibly not the best person to ask for the most up-to-date fighter meta, just because at the moment I think there's so much missing from those loops that I don't feel like comparisons at this stage are meaningful, and it's kind of not my game loop right now. So I mean, I see what you mean. Look, I'm a bit of an RSI whore, which is no shock to anyone that knows me. But I really like the look of the Scorpius. I didn't when it first came out, but I think that was just the angles they were taking photos at or whatever. But now I am massively, massively on side with the look of the Scorpius. And just the fact that some of the best fun I've had in this game is the, two people in a fighter. Genuinely some of the most fun I've had in this game. Execute and I from Info Runners did a lot of that stuff around Xenothreat, and it was just chef's kiss, Good Lord. Literal massacre. Is there a way in off the top? Is this... Holy moly, there is. Ooh. I heard shooting, but I don't know if it's friendly. Let's find out. Hopefully, if they are player and they do kill me, they res me afterward. There is a What's interesting is I can't bring the chat window up right now. Yeah, so I understand, Shadow. Ooh, this is a CQB fucking nightmare. I feel like there should be something in here to reward that, but obviously there isn't. But I thought I was being clever doing that. No, look, BMM Perseus, it's all good, dude. I'm hoping I have someone who is quite nicely sitting on a very early pledge for the BMM for me, and I'm hoping that sometime soon I'm going to be in a position to be able to take that off them. BMM's a beautiful ship, mate. Absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, Shadow, look, yeah, mate, all good things and that. Go help family. Yeah, it's really good to see you on stream as always, mate, and we'll hopefully see you again soon. But you take care of yourself, and I'll be here next week. It's the one beauty now of being 9 to 5 is I don't have to sit here and think about whether or not I can be on, does it fit into my shift pattern. it's just a very, very beautiful, yes, I can be on stream. And I couldn't be happier. So yeah, but yeah, you take care of yourself, mate, and I'll speak to you soon. That's the plan. Every Sunday, 9 till 11 UK time, bearing in mind that the hour will have just changed, obviously, because it's now daylight saving time in the UK. The clocks went forward 2 weekends ago. So yes, every Sunday, 9 till 11 UK. That's that. Yeah, Notorious. I got a job training Coast Guards. So where the job that I was doing, that worries me. The job that I was doing as a Coast Guard, taking 999 calls, taking Mayday, PAN calls, radio distress, satellite distress, and then devising a plan and enacting that plan. I'm now training other Coast Guard to do the same. I'm also training Coast Guards specifically with the challenges that arise in central London. The Coast Guard is responsible for the River Thames up to a place called Hampton Court, which is up by Twickenham, the famous rugby ground, right? And that is, all of it is very challenging because it's a river. Obviously we work mostly in open water. So the idea of modelling what happens to an object in water at sea is very, very different to in a river. So yeah, there's lots of stuff there that needs training, that Coast Guards need help with. And those 4 years that I did as a Coast Guard in London, working on the river, that's kind of the experience base that I'm using now to help train and create a formal training program for those guys, because it's an interesting place to work. It's a very rewarding place to work, but it's also very challenging. And one of the things that you do, unfortunately, over and over again, is you deal with people. Yeah, drunk people, certainly, but unfortunately it's people who are not in such a good in such a good place in life. That is unfortunately a lot of the work in London. I've got to be careful what I say, because I know YouTube and that aren't keen on these types of conversations. But that's our job, is to go and help these people, make sure that they, that get a second chance. If they do try to hurt themselves, that we can, get them back and give them a chance to resolve whatever's going on. Yeah, really rewarding work. But it also means that, no more shift work, which is great for a while. Being able to do the 9 to 5, and knowing just by dint of what day and what hour it is, like a normal human being, that you can, that I know, depending on what time we're talking about, whether or not I can be there and do something, as opposed to trying to think, hang on, so I do 2 days, 2 nights, 4 off, so am I going to be around then? I can't remember. Yeah. So it's really cool. But yeah, thanks guys. Thank you very much. Yeah, hopefully, it's interesting, because sometimes you're like, I kind of hope this person is like, oh, just fuck off and leave me alone, will you? So you kind of hope that's the way they see it too. But I think, that second chance mentality, I would much rather you go, leave me alone, and we stop you from doing it, than the person who goes, I really wish I hadn't done this, and no one comes to help them. So I'm more than happy to sacrifice, a little bit of the former for lots of the latter. So yeah. Normality. Oh my god, yes, it's great. Like, being able to sleep normally, that's awesome. Not having to worry about things like getting into night routine. So you come home after a day shift and you then go to sleep, and then you've got to go to sleep again, because the following day you start at 6:30 in the evening and finish at 6:30 in the morning. It's kind of bizarre. It was fun because I was able to script a lot of videos during that, so that, you know, there was a time when during, I think it was CitizenCon and the IAE, it was IAE, sorry, that I was able to go and do shift work, and then in the evening, because I'd had the day to prepare and do all my research, when there weren't jobs on, because if there's nothing on, you're just sat there, you're just like, I'm waiting for a niner to come in, waiting for a radio call to come in, that actually you would just go, well, okay, great, wait for a call to come in, and during that time, your time was your own, right? So I would be able to go and do a day shift, come home, record, and have it out that evening. So that was good. It's obviously not working that way quite at the minute. Why are there naked people? These people weren't naked when, or were they? I didn't come out this way, did I? Bizarre. Okay, good. I'm just going to clear into the... Just because getting shot in the back is not on my list of things to do. Really? Really? It's all good. So maybe if I move that a little and now grab it. Go on. Sometimes I just kind of want to act like a massive trebuchet and just like... Yeet. That didn't work at all, did it? But yeah. If it's stupid but works, it isn't stupid. Has anyone figured out how to jump on these things? Because at one point they were talking about people could jump on the crate and then tractor beam themselves and basically just kind of float around everywhere. Like, I want to know how to do that. Or have they patched that out now? I just don't know. I think our friends... They've stopped that, have they? Needs 2 people. Gotcha. I just kind of, based on Shadow Girl's warning that there are sniper rifles around, I'm just going to take the low ground up towards the ship. Is that supposed to be there? No, it's just a... For science, you understand. Oh, I was going to see if you can cover one of these things up with a bucket. But evidently not. So has everyone managed to get in, try 318 now? Has that been a thing for people, or are people still, are you guys still being locked out of it? Oh, really? I can't. But that's actually solid, is it? Okay, fine. Well, that wasn't what I'd intended at all. That was. Wow. I've proper broken that one, haven't I? Here's hoping it doesn't do that when we take off. Hello, hello, more people. This is good. I got to double figures. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. Unfortunately, we are almost at the end of the stream. I'm just going to get these crates to where they need to go because I don't want yet another faction with which I have no rep, because that would be rubbish. Oh. Now, apparently, there's an actually active cutlass. Now, are you going to get angry with me? Ah, it's dead. That's fine. Boo. Not entirely sure how something like this docks with something like that, but... And every so often, I have to look at this game and go, God damn, it's beautiful. God damn. Right. Just, yeah. Anyway, so we're going to go drop these crates off. Can you give me a location, or am I still locked to something? I'm still locked to something on it. Clear route. Drop it off at the Art Court mining facility. Which one? Is it just the Art... Oh, drop off titanium. Here we go. Is it that one? Yeah, set route. Let's go with that. There we go. And then hopefully there's some kit to pick up here as well. That'd be nice. Some loot crates and stuff. But yeah, every so often this game just catches me out, and I need to take a breath. It's absolutely beautiful.
Quantum travels complete.
And that's just one of the best features I think in the game. I don't know if anyone's noticed, but in 3.18, if you do that in if you do that at Microtech now, the mapping close in actually maps the trees, which is really, really, really cool. You actually watch it like outline the trees and stuff as it goes down. It's quite something. Okay. Put some lights on. Let's reduce the speed down a little. See if I can land this properly, because I can't even see what orientation. I think this is one of the problems with the HUD at the minute. Macho, thank you very much for being here, mate. You sleep well. All the best, buddy, and I'll look forward to catching up with you again soon, mate. All right. Is the HUD sometimes is so bright you just can't see what it is that you need to you need to see. Oh. Not the right angle to be doing this. Yeah, kinda. That'll do. Good night, buddy. Take it easy, yeah?
Engines online. Launch complete.
What do you mean launch complete? No, not launch complete. Launch complete bad. What do you mean launch complete? Am I now back in the air or something? Yes. Yes, I am. With my engines on, despite the fact that my engines are off. Worrying. Yeah. Yeah. Stop it. Hopefully it doesn't do that when I get out. Come back. Ugh. But yeah. Well, at least it's an armor zone here, right? Kinda. Still can't grab that boy. Can you grab that one? There we go. But yeah, I mean, at some point, maybe I'll work up to going to, like, Korea and trying that. Maybe I'll come over. Because apparently the Reclaimer mission here is really interesting. It's an organ harvesting thing, which is why it needs to be handed in at Grimhex to the clinic. And basically, the Reclaimer's been changed into an organ harvesting thing. So you go and nick one of these organs and deliver it to the clinic at Grimhex. And you know, that's that. But yeah, no, Feather's got to agree. I love the back end of the Retaliator. That's rude, but I like the way it's configured, the way it's set out with the blades, with the wings and stuff. But I agree. There's all sorts of reasons I don't like the front end of the Retaliator. And maybe I'll go and show you why in just a second. Maybe I'll rage quit and throw my PC out the window. I haven't. I'm a poll potentially. But yeah. So I think there's all sorts of reasons to not like it. I think some of those are aesthetic, some of those are actually functional. The fact that it's got the intakes either side, those would actually be an absolute nightmare for radar cross section that would make it infinitely more detectable, because a signal would bounce in there and bounce out, rather than if that was flat, flush against, bouncing off and glancing away. It's that sort of stuff. But yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Notorious, I've got to say, those the part of the reason I like the Retaliator so much is it does feel so cramped, and it does feel so B-17 inside, or, you know, a nuclear submarine, whichever way you want to look at it. It does have that kind of really close-knit, confined atmosphere that it's like, yes, you could live here for a short period of time, but you wouldn't want to do it for any great length of time, because that'd be rubbish. And yes, yeah, like a kid in the candy shop, press up against the window, like, ooh, it's just candy. It's high explosive size 9 candy. But yeah, I love that, and I mean, I haven't done it yet, but I'm quite looking forward to being in someone else's Retaliator and actually watching them fire that. So watching the bomb bay mechanism open, the torpedoes out, and then watching them release. I think that's I love the fact that, oh no, we're not where we thought we were. All our stuff in our ship. I suppose this Manicus is an item wipe, right? But yeah, so I think that now that we don't need to do any more of that, I'm probably going to call it there, ladies and gents. It's past when I would be anyway. We've got a little bit of profit stuff here. I could probably sell it at this station if I'm honest. Wherever we are, probably back in Port Tressler because that was the last station I checked in at. But yeah, I'm going to sell this stuff and then I'm going to go and I'm going to keep chatting with you guys until I do. But thank you very much for joining me. I like this interaction and this more immediate kind of feedback and being able to shape the discussion with you guys in the chat. But yeah, so yeah, the Retaliator I think it's just showing its age compared to the newer designs. You look at the Vulture, although that's industrial and has nothing to do with combat whatsoever. You look at just the level of detail, and then you look back at the Retaliator. Like you say, the Retaliator is absolutely showing its age round about now. But yeah, other than that, you know, there's a couple of shape issues, I think. I think the back end shows it to be very kind of racy, and the front end's a little bit blunt, not as maybe dynamic as you'd want. And I get that it needs to fit in the whole crew compartment up top, but there's still other ways you could do that. So me, you. Great success. There's a little bit of money, not a lot for the time that we were playing, but a little bit of money at least, and that's made us some cash. Wow. That's audio visual equipment, party favors, souvenirs, audio visual equipment, Heart of the Woods. I'm going to start picking up everything, I think, so I can sell it. But yeah. So that's the end of the stream, guys. Thank you ever so much for joining us. Really appreciate it. I will take your feedback under advisement, Matthew, and hopefully we'll be able to warn people that streams are coming, give you guys a bit of a heads up, and I will make it all work so that when you're sitting in the stream waiting, that it's actually that stream that activates and not another one. But guys, thank you very much for joining me. It's been fun. You've been watching Drinkers with Gaming Problems. Thank you very much for stopping by. I'll see you soon.